Hey everybody, it's John Pollock here with you. UFC 175 is coming up Saturday, July the 5th. It's going to feature two title fights. Chris Weidman defending his middleweight title against Lyoto Machida, and Ronda Rousey will defend her UFC bantamweight championship against our guest at this time, Canadian Alexis Davis. Alexis, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good, enjoying life.
Alexis, this is obviously the biggest fight of your career, and with that comes so much attention for what is going to be a gigantic card from the UFC. Tell us how you're just preparing for this whole aspect of things, which is kind of the calm before the storm you're going to get fight week, where everyone is going to be wanting to speak with Alexis Davis.
You know what, it is, I've kind of dealt with the media a bit throughout my fights, but, obviously for a title fight, and, this is one of the biggest fights of the year. So, there is a little bit more that media I'm trying to get used to, it's different. I'm not used to talking. I'm used to talking more face to face with people. Now, and dealing a lot more over the phone, talking over through the camera, different press conferences. But, it just comes with the job.
Going back to Ronda Rousey's last opponent in Sarah McMahon, she took the tact of removing herself and not doing as many interviews building up the fight. She just strictly wanted to train, and even for someone that's competed in the Olympics, she seemed almost rattled by this giant stage. What did you think of how Sarah McMahon went into that fight?
You know what? Every fighter, that's what we want to do. We just want to go. We kind of want to, well, I would say most fighters, I want to go train. We don't want to just do our thing. But, when you kind of hit a level like this, there's so much more, there's more promotional parts through the media that you have to deal with. If you want to just train, if you want to just fight, this is probably not the promotion for you. You have to get, you got to get your name out there. You have to get the fight out there. You want people to watch. You want the fans to see you fight.
As we stay on this subject of just all of the outside distractions, have you looked ahead of the title and what it represents, not just for you as an athlete, but also all of the other obligations that comes with it? You see how in demand someone like Ronda Rousey is. Do you kind of envision that, man, I'm getting to do all this media right now, and it's only going to increase by that much more if I become champion?
Well, it kind of, people, when I ran into TJ after his fight too, and we were kind of talking briefly, and he was saying, I think it was still 2 weeks after his fight, and he was saying he was still doing press and stuff and still doing tours. But, it's more, I'm more focused on the fight. We'll worry about that, as it comes.
We've seen you post lots of photos online training at Team Alpha Male. Is that where you've primarily spent this camp getting ready?
Actually, out in San Jose, I've been doing my camp along with the same guys over at Combat Sports Academy and over at Coyoteras, but, just kind of wanted to add that, extra element of wrestling, that strong wrestling, and, what better place to do it than Alpha Male? You have such high-level wrestlers there, and, guys aren't just wrestlers, but, they're world-class MMA fighters as well, so it's a different spin on things, and, it's been a great opportunity.
Yourself and Ronda Rousey, you guys share a lot of similar training partners. Has that been a problem in putting this camp together where there is that overlap?
It hasn't really. It was kind of something that we thought about when I first moved to California, but, it's a large group of fighters in California, but it's still kind of small. There's, you're going to come across people that have, they've either trained with Ronda or, I know I had another training partner down with Misha, and, one day I could end up fighting Misha, but, you're just going to kind of come across that and kind of stick to it more on a professional level.
I want to go back to March of 2012 and the Strikeforce card in Columbus, Ohio. That was the night Ronda Rousey defeated Miesha Tate to become the then Strikeforce bantamweight champion. And you were also on that card fighting Sarah Kaufman. And there was so much focus on that fight, and it was the promotion of that event that really convinced Zuffa at that time that this is a division we can promote. And there was a lot of criticism. Ronda Rousey was getting that title opportunity at that stage of her career. Being part of that card and the lead up to it, what were your impressions of Ronda Rousey 2 years ago?
Even before that fight, I'm going to admit, I'm one of those people that were like, who is this chick? She's just going to drop down a weight class and she's going to get a title shot. But, you know, obviously she's earned it, and she's champion for a reason, and she has stayed champion for a reason, you know, and she's kind of surpassed just the, you know, the armbar queen type of thing. You know, we've seen in her last fight, even with McMahon, you know, she's working a lot on her stand-up, you know, her knees, her striking. So, you know, we've kind of seen her change and grow as a fighter, and, you know, that's the fighter I want to fight. I want to fight the best, you know, Ronda Rousey there is.
And of course, all of the events that are happening that same week, it's International Fight Week. There's a big concert that is going down with POD and Papa Roach. Are you going to be able to attend any of these events?
Yeah, you know, you can only hope so, but, you know, I imagine that they kind of keep you so busy that, you know, I'll have to kind of sneak out here and there or something.
Well, Alexis, I want to thank you very much for the time. It's UFC 175 coming up Saturday, July the 5th, as Alexis Davis goes for the UFC Bantamweight Championship against Ronda Rousey in one of the main events of the evening, happening on pay-per-view. Thank you very much for the time, Alexis, and all the best leading up to July the 5th.
Oh, no, thank you very much.